I know I'm not starting the video yet, but I just got a scam. You know, there's ones like, someone tried to deliver to you today, but they couldn't do that, so click this link and we can rearrange that delivery. Bro. No. No, 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 no. Nice try, though. Nice try. But no. Hey, right, guys. Trey from Just here, and today we are going to be doing a tier list and ranking of all the Love, Death, Robot episodes from seasons 1, 2, and 3. Sorry that the audio won't be great in this video. When I screen record, the mic just messes up for some reason when I do it on the tier list, so apologies for that, but I mean, I'm sure we can all cope. But yeah, season 3 just finished. I really enjoyed season 3. I think it was a step up from the second season for me. I think it was more consistent with its episodes, and I figured it'd be kind of fun to go back through the episodes and, you know, decide on which ones at least I consider to be the best episodes of Love, Death, Robots. We've got amazing, really solid, decent, meh, and trash. I don't think there'll be many that'll be in the trash. I can think of one, maybe two, that I think would be in the trash compactor. But yeah, keep in mind as well, I did not create this tier list. This is someone else's creation. All I've done is reordered them from the first episode all the way down to the last. But they did all like the images and stuff. So I'll leave a link to this tier list down below if you want to go do a ranking of your own, which would be kind of fun. I figured why not. So yeah, what I'm going to do is I've got the lists for seasons. This is not the list that I had, but the list for seasons 1, 2, and 3, and then my rankings for them. So I'm going to keep that in mind. Go off memory. Obviously, seasons 2 and 3 are more fresh in my mind than 1 because we did this back in 2019, season 1, and then we'll kind of decide from there, I think, what we consider to be the best all the way down. But I think I pretty much remember most of the episodes. I think the only ones that are a bit blurry for me is probably the Aquila Rift one. Lucky I don't even remember that. Yeah, I remember all these fine. I remember most of them. So, well, I remember all of them. It's just like some scenes might be blank in my mind. But seasons 2 and 3 are definitely still there. So yeah, keep in mind this is my ranking. Yours is going to be completely different to mine, I'm sure. If we somehow had the exact same order for every single episode, then I mean that'd be kind of wild. But I'm kind of spoiling which episodes I consider really good there with the ratings. But yeah, starting off with Sunny's Edge. This was the first reaction to Love, Death, Robots that I did, of course. I know some people's order for which episodes come first are different to others depending on what country you're in, I believe. I think that's right, or I think it's like fine-tuned to what your kind of style in what you watch on Netflix is or something like that, which is awesome if that is the case. But because some people didn't have Sunny's Edge as their first episode, but I did, and I'd say it was a... Let's read the... In the underground world of Beastie fights, Sunny is unbeatable as long as she keeps her edge. So yeah, this is the one where they had the like mechs, not really mechs, but they were kind of like their creations fighting in a pit, and we kind of had like the first 10 minutes like building up to that, and then the final 10 minutes was the big action scene, which I thought was really cool. So again, I think it goes for the most part with all of these episodes, but the animation, we'll mention which I consider the best animated episodes, but the animation for all these episodes are pretty much on point, and Sunny's Edge was no different. I'd say it was a decent start into the show. It's not one that stuck with me. This is, I think, I could be wrong, but I think this is the one that most people consider my rating way off base with. Like, this is the one people were like, no, this is like one of the best episodes of season 1. For me, I think it was, maybe I put him really solid actually. It was a solid start into it. Considering some of the other ones, I'd put it in really solid. Like I say, from that point onwards, it does get you hooked into the show, and you're just like, yeah, I'm going to continue watching with this for sure. Then we have 3 robots, obviously part 1, because we did get a part 2 down here in season 3, which I thought was kind of cool, bringing those 3 characters back for a second part. Kind of similar to the first one, but, you know, just them in the apocalypse on their own little tour, you know, talking about the olden days and how much humans fucked up the planet. So, I mean, pretty accurate on that one, but yeah, I gave this one another 7 out of 10. Again, these could have been like a 7.1 or a 7.9, high 7 or low 7, but long after the fall of humanity, 3 robots embark on a sightseeing tour of a post-apocalyptic city. Yeah, pretty much what I just said. So I'd say this was, I'm going to say, was it better than Sunny's Edge? I think I preferred the characters in this one to Sonny's Edge. I'd put it on the same tier for sure, but yeah, I think these three characters are just so likable, like they're dynamic together, and I'm glad we got a part 2 of them. I think we should get part 3 as well, maybe do it in like the final season or something like that. I don't know how many seasons they plan to do, but make it a trilogy. Why not? There's 3 of them, so you might as well make it a trilogy, it'd be kind of fitting. But yeah, I really like those 3, and I'm glad we got a part 2 of them for sure. Right, then we have The Witness. I mean, we're kind of jumping the gun here very quickly. 10 out of 10. After seeing a brutal murder, a woman flees from the killer through the streets of a surreal city. This has the lowest rated out of the 3 that we've done so far. Sonny's Edge has 79%, 3 Robots has 77, The Witness has 75. So the lowest rated on Tracked, but for me, still a 10 out of 10. This is one I've rewatched a few of these. This is the one I've rewatched the most. 5 times, I think, including the reaction. No, 4 times. It'd be 4 times including the reaction. The animation is just the best it's been. I'm so glad they brought the director back to do another episode, which we'll get to in season 3. And yeah, I just love the character design. I love the city. I love the story. I thought it was eerie. I don't know, like even though it is so short, I feel like they compact quite a lot into it. I can remember each moment in this episode, not frame by frame, I won't go that far, but scene by scene, I can definitely picture it in my mind. And I don't know, it's one of those where, as much as I'd want like a full film of it, I'm glad it was just kind of short done, because it just gets on with it, and then it's, you know, oh, we're going to leave you with this one, and you're going to remember it for, I mean, it's been 3 years, wait, 3 years, and I still remember it, and still love it to pieces. I've actually been considering a The Witness tattoo for the past year. Haven't quite done it yet, but it is considering. I have got a Witness display coming as well, so that'll be, you'll see The Witness here in the background in a few reactions time. But yeah, 10 out of 10 for me. Probably, well, definitely is still for me the best episode of Love, Death, Robots. So if you came to this video to see what my favourite episode of Love, Death, Robots was, it was literally episode 3 and still is. Yeah, I think some episodes have come close to overthrowing it, but not quite there for me. So The Witness, you will be remembered forever. Then we have Suits, which is my second most viewed Love, Death, Robots reaction. I think that's on like 115,000 views or something ridiculous. I don't know why. Suits was such a random episode to do so well, but I mean, fair play. This was the one. Yeah, a community of farmers used their homemade mechs to defend their families from an alien invasion. Yeah, that's where they had all the aliens on the hill and stuff, and you had the three mechs there ready to fight them all off. This was a fun episode. I think this, out of the 4 when I did the reactions, this was the first one that I just felt like a lot of fun was kind of thrown into it. Not the best story wise, I don't think, because this is like an alien invasion and they're killing them all. It's like, yeah, okay, but I think the characters, from what I remember, the characters made it really enjoyable, and the mechs just having ridiculous contraptions to deal with these aliens was a lot of fun as well. And I like the idea that it was farmers just kind of defending their homes and their territory. So correct me if I'm wrong, they lose at the end. They get destroyed. But I mean, that's kind of in theme with all of these episodes. Like, the humans kind of just typically tend to lose. But yeah, this was a lot of fun. I'm going to put this one in amazing, I think. Not quite on the level of the best because it's not one that I like constantly think about, but thinking back to the reaction, I think that was just like a lot of fun. And like I say, a lot of these episodes do just go for the more fun factor, which is great. So yeah, Suits, a very good episode. Then we have, I think, Sucker of Souls. Am I right? That's season 2. Sucker of Souls. Unleashed by an archaeological dig, a bloodthirsty demon battles a team of mercenaries armed with cats. I remember that, they had the cats with the like, guns out of them and shit like that. Yeah, this was the first one for me that was fairly weak. Not weak, I think it was fine. It was, again, kind of was going for the more fun comedy factor, but I don't think I laughed like hysterically at it or anything. It's like, yeah, you know, you're using cats as weapons, that's kind of cool, like their grenades and stuff like that. But yeah, I thought it was an okay episode. How long was it? 6 minutes. Like, yeah, I remember this one being very, very short. So again, sometimes they're too short. It's kind of hard to get invested in some episodes when they're. But then at the same time, if this was like 20 minutes, I'd have been like, what are we doing here? So I won't say it was trash. I'd probably put it in meh. Again, not one I've really thought about till right now, actually. Or when I pass the image of it every now and again on Netflix. But Yeah, it was okay. It was a fine episode. Then we had the day the yogurt, something like that. Oh no, when the yogurt took over, that was it. I got the title wrong. After scientists accidentally breed super intelligent yogurt, it soon hungers for world domination. 16 minutes. Yeah, I think that's one of the more viewed reactions I've done on the show as well. Again, kind of going for the more comedy factor for sure. Just like, oh, it's a yogurt and it's super intelligent and wants to take over everyone. I was like, okay, yeah, cool. It was an okay one. This again, lowest rated I've given here with a 4 out of 10. Was that a bit too low? Again, I still wouldn't really put it in trash though. Would I put it in trash? No, I still think you get something from this episode. Like, there are a few laughs in there for sure. It's just so ridiculous that you kind of have to laugh at it. So I wouldn't say it was quite trash, but in terms of I'd say this is one of the weakest animated ones as well. That style of animation just doesn't really do anything for me. But it was, yeah, one of those silly stories, no characters really, and that's fine. Again, the silly story ones I think can actually really work. There's a few, probably in season 3 actually, that I'd say. Which we'll get to that. I think they go for the silly story way of things and they actually smash it. Season 1 didn't quite do that for me as much. So then we have, what's this one? The Aquila Rift one or something like that. Yeah, I think this one's called the Aquila, Beyond the Aquila Rift. Awakening after travelling light years off course, a ship's crew struggles to discover just how far they've come. Yeah, I think the first half of this was like good build up, and I seem to remember the second half just like shit hit the fan. There was like a really brutal death in this one. I can't remember exactly what happened in it, but I remember there was like a really brutal death. I don't know. Probably like vacuumed out into space or some shit. But I remember really enjoying this one. I think this is one that I'm probably going to give this one a rewatch actually. Of all the ones I've done so far, this is one I think I want to give a rewatch. Maybe Sunny's Edge, because I want to do like a complete edition of Love, Death, Robots when it finishes, and I'll be rewatching every episode for that one. But yeah, Beyond the Aquila Rift I'd probably say was was it better than Suits? I think Suits was more fun, so I'm probably going to put this one here, and the animation for Suits I think is more my style. I like that one, but I think the first half of this one was decent, and then the second half was really, really strong from what I remember. So Beyond the Aquila Rift we will put in amazing, I think. Because that is one that I can think about and like remember having fond memories of, which is good. Like I say, if you want to see any of the reactions that I've done to this show, I'll leave a link to the playlist for Love, Death, Robots below as well, and you can have full buffet of every reaction I've done to this show. Good hunting, what an episode. Let's read the thingy. The son of a spirit hunter forges a bond with a shape-shifting Huli Jing. I don't know what, I guess that's what the character was called, not called, but yeah, this was one of my favourite, I think the only other 10 out of 10 I gave this season. Yeah, I think this was the last 10 out of 10 I gave to an episode of Love, Death, Robots actually. Yeah, I adored it. Animation, perfection, characters, great. The setting I thought was wonderful, like when it did the time skip halfway through the episode and you had 2 completely different settings was amazing. The ending was satisfying. I loved it. I think it was definitely more so on the story with this one for me, and the animation to be fair, but this is one I've rewatched only one other time. I did the reaction and rewatched it again after, so I actually want to give this one another watch I think soon, but I loved it. I remember when I was doing the reaction and I ended it, I was like, that's got to be a 10. I can't remember if I tried to like persuade myself to give it a 9, because I was like, oh, it's not on the level of The Witness, but after thinking about it, I was like, no, it's a 10. It's obviously a 10, so the action scenes were satisfying as well. So, and I say it was just the story, but even the characters still stand out to me, like I don't know the names of them, but the guy and the little romance that they had with the leg and all that stuff, and it's kind of like a dark, twisted cyberpunk story as well in the second half. So yeah, I loved it. I'm not sure if this director came back for a second episode or anything, but if they haven't, then bring them back for a number 2, because damn, I'm going to put it in one of the greatest Love, Death, Robots episodes. Below The Witness still for me. It's The Witness, but Good Hunting came very, very close. Very, very close. Then we have The Dump. Am I correct? Is it just called, yep, The Dump? Ugly Dave calls the garbage dump home, and he's not about to let some city slicker take it away from him. Yeah, this was like the, the fancy of if Wally in the first 5 minutes of that film where he's just cleaning up garbage. That was kind of basically that setting. But yeah, this was a fine one. Didn't care for any of the characters. Again, the animation didn't really stand out to me, but it did have some funny moments from what I remember, and it was one of those kind of fun, enjoyable ones. I'd probably put it in meh for me, probably below Sucker of Souls, probably there. Yeah, not one I think about, not one I plan to rewatch. I mean, again, I'll rewatch all these episodes when the final season comes out, and get a fresh mind on all these episodes, because that'll probably be, what would that be, in like 5 years, if they ever plan to finish it. I mean, this is one of those shows that could literally go on forever. How about we'll do another tier list at the end of season 4, and I'll rewatch like episodes like this. I'll rewatch the good ones, but ones like this I probably should, but it's like nothing standing out for me to want to. Shapeshifters, my most viewed. Love Death Robots reaction, and I think my fifth or fourth most viewed video on the channel, and like almost 250,000. You guys are mad. I can see why this one's so much fun, so much fun. Like, you have the first 5 minutes is kind of like a bit of a mystery, something's going on, you got this like military setting going on, and then the second half you kind of see him, well, again, these spoilers for all these episodes obviously, but he sees his mate die. That's after they turn into wolves, so it's like he does after that big fight. You have a great action scene, probably the best action scene in any episode of this show. And the animation for the like that bit there, where he's like tearing his skin off and stuff, so good. Brutal as well, like when his arm was hanging off and stuff like that. It's just really, really good stuff. Just a really enjoyable one with a decent story and two actual, I'd say, very good characters as well. Like, you kind of did feel the bond between them. So I think I gave this one a 9. Yeah, 9 out of 10. Deep in Afghanistan, 2 Marines with supernatural powers face a threat from one of their own kind. Yeah, he's got to be one of the best. Some of the greatest Love, Death Robots episodes. Below Good Hunting and The Witness for me, but I'm sure many people have this as their number one, and I'd, fair play. I can't disagree on people thinking this is like the best episode of the show, because it was really up there. I mentioned that because I've had so many comments on that video saying that people think it's the best episode of the show. But to be fair, that was back when season 1 was out, so maybe their opinions have changed. I don't know. Helping Hand, I want to say this one's. Is it Helping Hand? Come on. Fingers crossed. Yo. We're good at these. Stranded in orbit, an astronaut must choose between life and limb before her oxygen runs out. I remember comparing this one to Gravity. It was like the animated version of Gravity, but it was better than Gravity, because I don't like the film Gravity. Yeah, this is a good one. It was like kind of one of those, you're in space alone, you've got a timer, figure your shit out kind of thing, so it puts you on that kind of intense, small journey that she has going on. Was it a she? I want to say it was a she. Yeah, this was a good one. I'd probably, what did I give it rating wise? I think it's 7. Yeah, 7 out of 10. I'd say it was a solid one. It doesn't stand out as much as Sunny's Edge and the 3 Robots one for me, but nothing too bad about this episode. I just don't think I connected with the character as much, or the story. It was, had that timer going on, like I say, so you had that intensity going on with it, but yeah, it's not one that really stands out for me. Fish Night, I want to say this one's, yeah, we're good. After their car breaks down in the desert, 2 salesmen take a dreamlike voyage to the dawn of time. The best part of this episode is absolutely the animation. The animation is top tier. The story didn't really do it for me, the characters didn't really do it for me, but the animation, some of those shots in that episode was so good, and is what really boosted this one up for me. I think if the animation was lesser, like if it looked like The Dump or something like that, it would have been kind of trash or meh for me, but because of the animation, I probably put it in decent. Probably above these 3, so I think I want to give it a 6. Yeah, I gave it a 6. I know I gave like this a 6 as well, but I'd say Fish Night is slightly better just because of the animation. I mean, you can even tell from that one picture there how good it is. So Yeah, I think this maybe is one that I need to give a watch back as well. So then we have, oh, I don't know this one. I don't know the name of that episode. I know it's the one with the pilot in the desert, but I don't know the name of it. Lucky 13, yes, of course. After the dropship, Lucky 13 lost 2 crews. No pilot would fly her, but rookies don't get a choice. Yeah, was that the character from Orange is the New Black? Was the actress in this one? Let me check. Yeah, it was. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, this is a good one. I think the ending for this episode was really positive, was really strong. The character was decent. I liked the animation for the most part, and there's not one that stood out too much with the animation, but yeah, I didn't mind the story. It was that scene where she's kind of flying into the desert and shit's going down. That's where it started to really pick up. But again, these are like 10 minutes and stuff, so you can't complain too much with that. I'd probably say this is a really solid one. Did I prefer this or Helping Hand? I think I preferred Helping Hand, so I'm going to put it down there, just at the bottom of really solid. Then we have Zima Blue. Yes. The renowned artist Zima recounts his mysterious past and rise to fame before unveiling his final work. Animation for this, incredible. This is one that people disagreed with me on because I gave it an 8 out of 10, but people were saying this is like their weakest episode of the entire season or something like that, but I completely disagreed. I thought the animation was amazing, the story was decent. I thought the voice acting for this one really stood out for me. So 8 out of 10. I'd probably say is better than the Aquila. Okay, it's getting hard now. I'm going to put it in amazing, but I'm debating if it's better than Aquila Rift and Suits. Animation wise, I think it's the best out of the 3, but in terms of an episode, probably put it at the bottom of it, right there. I really enjoyed it. Oh, Blind Spot. I mean, what do I think of it? 2 out of 10. Jeez, yeah. A gang of cyborg thieves stage a high-speed heist of a heavily armoured convoy. This one did nothing for me. Absolutely nothing. The first episode that I watched, I was like, I got nothing from that. 8 minutes, we'll say 6 minutes because you have credits included. So very short, which is fine. You have shorter episodes than this that are better. But didn't connect to any of the characters. Animation did nothing for me. The story was weak. And yeah, it's just that's the best thing about this show is it's going to be different for everyone, but for me, I mean, it's the lowest rated as well, 66%, so I might be in the majority with this one, but I just got nothing from this one. It is more memorable to me because I got nothing from it, I guess, so it's more memorable than some of the more average ones, but Jesus, I couldn't tell you one thing that really happened in the story other than the convoy thing going on and just a lot of guns were firing off. Cool. Yeah, I'm going to say this is the first one for me that was trash. I didn't really enjoy that one at all, and have no plans to rewatch it, even though I will. But yeah, not good stuff, unfortunately. Then we have Ice Age. Yep, Ice Age. A young couple moves into an apartment and finds a lost civilization inside their antique freezer. The Mary Elizabeth Winstead from Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, and I do know this actor, but I can't remember what he's from. Yeah, this is a fine one. It's like they have the fridge, and I like the animation of them going through the generations. Like you see them like building nukes, and then they blow themselves up at the end and stuff like that. I thought it was a kind of fun one, but that's all it was. It was just the fridge and the animation of them building the civilizations was the best part about it. I didn't care about the 2 characters, but it was okay. I'd probably put it in. Is it meh? No, it's not quite meh. I'd say decent, probably above Fish Night for me. I think the animation in this one was better, but the idea of this one I just thought worked a bit better for me. So yeah, then we have Alternate Histories, which I think is the Hitler one, where they want to see Hitler die in a variety of comically fantastic ways. Now you can. Welcome to Multiversity. Yeah, this is just Hitler dying loads. I mean, no one's going to complain about seeing Hitler die loads and loads and loads of times, but yeah, animation wise didn't do much for me. and it was fine. I get what they were going for, but again, it's kind of like this. It just, yeah, okay, we're seeing here to die for 10 minutes. That's cool, I guess. I'd put it in trash. Not quite trash. It did have some laughs in there for sure. I'd probably put it. Is it better than the yogurt one? I'd say the yogurt one's better actually. So yeah, I'd probably put it there. It was fine. Had some, like I say, had some laughs in there, but nothing else really going for it for me. Then we have the finale of season 1, which is Blind Spot. Oh no, we've had Blind Spot. Why did I say Blind Spot? The Secret War. Elite units of the Red Army fight an unholy evil deep in the ancient forests of Siberia. This was a really fun one to kind of end the season on. I think just having like, you had everything. Animation was there. The characters were decent. And then you had just like a lot of action, but like actual good action, unlike Blind Spot. And yeah, the monsters were cool. We had some good deaths in there, so I just feel like this was a mixed bag of all the good stuff with season 1 of Love, Death, Robots. So yeah, I'd probably put it in. We'll say amazing, probably above Seam of Blue. I'd probably put it above there. Is it better than Suits? Yeah, I'd say it's better than Suits. It's a really good one. So I think it's, like I say, a very strong way to end the season. And that's season 1 done. So there's the season 1 rankings. Season 2 and 3 obviously had significantly less episodes than season 1. So this one, automated service repair, automated customer service. Shit. 7 out of 10. If your home cleaning unit is attempting to murder you, please press 3. I think upon thinking about this one, I'd probably take the rating down, if I'm being honest. I give it a 7. I'm going to take it down to a 6. First rating I've actually changed. Yeah, it was okay. I think, like, looking back, it was kind of a weaker way to start the second season. I mean, episode 2 has a way weaker episode rating than episode 1. I'd say episode 2 is better, so I can't have them both on a 7 now, can I? I can't do that, so... yeah, I'd probably put it in decent, because I'm not going to put it in really solid, so we'll put it above that one though, and above that one. I'd say it's at the top of decent. Yeah, that was like where I was worried about the dog dying the entire time. Had some good comical moments in there. The animation didn't really do too much for me, all the characters, but it was a good time. It was a good time. Ice. I'm going to scroll a bit so I don't accidentally look at the titles. 2 brothers far from home join genetically modded locals in a deadly race. The animation to this was incredible. Like when they actually did the race and did like the slow motion of the wide shots of the sky and the ice and everything like that. And like I said, this shot here with the like breath and stuff, it was just really well animated. Story was actually pretty good as well. I think this is one of those episodes, like I say, there are a handful of these kind of episodes for me throughout the show where I felt like it could have been longer. I think another 5 minutes of this one would have really benefited it, but it was 10 minutes and it did its job, I guess, still. So I'm going to put it in... decent or really solid for me. I'll probably put it in really solid. Just because of the animation. Without the animation, it being decent. With the animation, really solid. Probably above Lucky 13. Not as good as Helping Hand for me, because I think Helping Hand, like I say, had that intensity going for it. So, Pop Squad. Yup. A cop charged with fighting the scourge of overpopulation is haunted by the human toll of his work. The best episode of season 2 for me, I think. Animation, really cool. I think this was Nolan North who voice acted episode 3, which is kind of cool because we had Troy Baker. Yeah, Nolan North. We had Troy Baker in season 3. Emily O'Brien. Where's she from? Oh no, she's... Okay, so she's did The Witness character as well. So that's cool. But yeah, animation was good. This was the best story for me, and the characters were at their best in this episode from season 2, so I think this was the only 8. Maybe the finale was an 8 as well, but I really enjoyed Pop Squad. I'd probably give it, probably put it in amazing. Above Suits for me. Probably, yeah, top of there. Better than these episodes for me, just because of that story. I think it was a really interesting one, and I think it was one of those rare few where you could probably make this an hour long, you know, splice it up a little bit more. You could have it be like a short film kind of thing, like a full-length short film, and it could work because I think there's more to tell in that story. But I'm also glad that it was the length that it was. It still got the point across, and yeah, good stuff. Good stuff for season 2, and then it kind of went a bit, not downhill. I don't want to say season 2 went downhill, but I didn't know it peaked in episode 3. I've just looked at the title. Snow in the desert. Every bounty hunter in the galaxy wants a piece of snow. Characters in this were really cool, from what I remember. I mean, it was only last year, so yeah, the characters were very good, and the story was decent. Like, I liked the kind of world that it was set in. He started off in that city, he was wanted, and then kind of met up with that woman at the end as well, and then they shredded some people, I guess. It was a good one. Not the most memorable, but... and the animation wasn't the most memorable either, but I think the characters are definitely what made it for me. They were both pretty likeable and interesting, so... what did I give it? I'm sure I gave it a 7. I'll stick with a 7. What do we give you? I know what tier I want to put it in, but I'm trying to think where it fits in. So I'm going to say really solid. Probably above Ice. Probably above Helping Hand. But not as good as Sunny's Edge. I think the action in Sunny's Edge was better. But the characters in Snow in the Desert was... yeah, I'll leave it there. That one works for me. Oh no. Is it in the Tall Grass? The next one? In the Tall Grass? Or just the Tall Grass? Shit. During a journey across a prairie, is that how you say that? A man becomes transfixed by distant, ghostly lights. Animation for this one was one of the standouts for the second season, I think. Characters didn't do much for me, but the monster / threat of the episode, and the idea that it's kind of in this tall grass, even though we have a film kind of based on that as well, I thought was a really cool setting for it as well. So, and then the intensity of him trying to get back to the train in the second half was really good stuff. So, but it's definitely the animation that stood out the most for me with this one. So I'm going to put it in really solid. Well, I think I saw that I gave it a 7. I'm going to put it... it's better than... Nah, the characters in 3 Robots were just better, so yeah, I'll put it there. Better than Sunny's Edge for me. I think, again, Sunny's Edge action was better, but this didn't have too much action, so... oh, I actually could not tell you the name of this episode, because it is my least favourite of the second season. Bad Santa or something? No, all through that. Bad Santa, way off. On Christmas Eve, 2 kids tiptoe downstairs to catch a glimpse of Santa. Twisted Tale for Adults Only. I gave this a 5. I'm going to take it down to a 4. I just saw the name of the next title. Shit. I don't think I would have got that anyway. Yeah. One of those did nothing for me. Just like the design for the Santa thing, monster, was cool, I guess. But it was like 4 minutes, and that was really it. The more I think about this episode, the more I don't actually really like this one. Maybe I'll take it down to a 3. I'm not going to say it's trash because of the design for the monster, but I'm going to put it in meh. Probably there. Slap bang in the middle of meh. Yeah, weakest episode of season 2 for me. My thoughts on it have changed since reacting to it, but yeah, it was, again, just 4 minutes of the monster. Well, what could it be? There's the monster, and the end. Life Hutch, I saw the title already, but yeah, we had Michael B. Jordan being attacked by a dog, or robot dog, his hand getting crushed, which was a pretty good scene as well. He kind of had that intensity where he had a timer as well. What does this say? After crash landing on a craggy planet, a pilot makes his way to shelter only to face a threat within. Yeah, this is a good one. I liked the graphic to it, like the goriness to it with his hand. I thought it was pretty decent, like the robot just standing on it and squishing it, and then his kind of fight with the dog at the end as well was pretty good. So I'm going to put it in, again, really solid. Life Hutch, you better than Helping Hand? I'm going to say no. I'm going to put you there. But you are good. You are good though. The Drowned Giant? Or the Drowned Man? Let's go with the Drowned Man. Oh no, it's the Drowned Giant. The body of a colossal young man washes ashore and becomes an object of fascination for the locals. 7 out of 10. Really good way to end the second season, even though it was the weakest season out of the three, I think. So, but it was a good one. I'd say this is my second favourite out of the second batch for sure. Animation was cool. I like the idea of it just kind of withering away the giant and then kind of taking bones from it and just keeping the bones for the sake of keeping them, like planting them up in shops and like some of the bones in the jar and like in a museum and stuff as well, and then just like people clambering all on top of it. I thought the narration was really good as well. So yeah, pretty interesting story. I'd go amazing. Probably, I know I give it a 7, but I think story wise it stands out a bit more. Better than Zima Blue. Yeah, I'll put it there. I'm happy with that. And then we're on to our third season, which we did last week. So these are very, very fresh in my mind. 3 robots. And then it's like colon something. See, these are new, so I'm not going to get any of these episodes. But 3 robots. Let's scroll up. Exit strategies. Yeah, I wasn't going to get that. 3 robots walk into the post-apocalypse and take a whirlwind tour of humankind's last attempts to save itself. Very similar to their first appearance in season 1, but you kind of had that joke at the end with Elon Musk, I guess. Yeah, these 3 are just likeable. I like the idea of it as well. Like they're kind of like dead happy and just, bimbling about, seeing literal corpses and people having hung themselves and like wars that have broken out or little battles in between humankind. So it's like this happy nature that they have, and then all this grim, like when they see the spike pit and stuff like that. So I'd say that's pretty much on the level of the first one for me. I give it a 7 out of 10. So yeah, I mean this one and the first one go hand in hand. Which one's better? I guess the first one, because it was at least different at the time. Then we have, I don't know the names of any of these. What was number 2? It was it's the one, I know it's the one on the ship with the crustacean and the captain killing all his men. Oh, I don't know. Oh, bad travelling. Release the Thanapod. A ship's crew member sailing an alien ocean strikes a deal with a ravenous monster of the deep. Directed by David Fincher, which is sick. It's just sick. You can't go wrong with David Fincher. Troy Baker as well doing the voice, which I didn't find out till right at the end, which really annoyed me. But 9 out of 10. Best episode of the second season, maybe. It does have another contender, which is very close for me. But loved the story, loved the animation. The deaths were brutal. The monster was cool as fuck. The captain was really good, so the characters were strong. And I have a soft spot for like the setting of a ship out in the ocean anyway. I don't know why. The setting of it really worked for me. So I'm going to put it in the greatest Love, Death, Robots episodes. Above Shapeshifters, that's actually a hard one. They're both kind of similar, actually, in a way. Just that everyone will be like, the one's about a werewolf, one's about a crab. What are you on about? But in terms of animation, kind of similar, and the fact that people just get destroyed in both of them. That's a hard one, actually. Shapeshifters or Bad Travelling, which one's better? Oh, I need to pick. I'm gonna go Bad Travelling because of the setting. That hurts to do because I love Shapeshifters, but I mean they're both on the top, so who really cares? Number 3, what were you called? The Very Pulse of the Machine. Not gonna get that one. When an exploratory mission to a Jovian moon ends in disaster, the lone survivor must begin a perilous but mind-expanding journey. The more I thought about this one, the more I actually like it, I think. I think like seeing people's explanation to what it's about, like what's after death and stuff, I think kind of made me appreciate it a bit more. And then that final... I mean, I did say in the reaction, to be fair, that I was getting goosebumps, but those final like 2 minutes, amazing. The music really hits, the animation hits. I think what brings it down a little bit for me is probably the first half is just not as strong as the second half, when she starts like really tripping out and stuff. And the character for me, I didn't really connect with at all. So maybe I would keep it as a 6, but maybe like a high 6. I don't know if I gave it a high 6 or not. So yeah, I'm gonna say it feels bad putting it in. It feels wrong putting it in decent. So I'm going to put it in really solid, even though it is a 6. Maybe I should just give it a 7. Okay, let's give it. Let's change the rate. Oh, neither many dead. I'll just say the top. I'm trying to guess these. To be fair, I did. You'll have to just take my word for it. I did know the name of that one. Yeah, I'm going to change it to a 7. So I've got to put it in really solid. Probably towards maybe that. Yeah, I'd say better than Helping Hand. Better than Snow in the Desert. I'd say there. Slap bang in the middle of really solid. Yeah. The more I've thought about it, the more I actually really like that episode, I think. Night of the Mini Dead, which I give an 8 out of 10 to. So good. That final joke I've rewatched and it still makes me laugh. It's so stupid. But again, the kind of just way it's done. We've seen zombie apocalypse things done over and over and over again. And if this was just done in like a normal animation of a zombie apocalypse, I wouldn't have thought much of it. But the way it's just quick cut, here's like loads of different settings, people getting annihilated, and then the planet blowing up, and it's just done in like little miniature versions, made it stand out way more. So I'm going to put it in amazing. I really like this episode. I know it's only like 3.5 minutes or something, but yeah, I'm going to put it honestly there. I really liked it. I really enjoyed the episode, so yeah, I don't have a flaw with it. It's just, 4 minutes was perfect for it. Oh, Kill Team Kill. Nice. US Special Forces are trained to neutralize any threat, even a cybernetic killing machine created by the CIA. Their secret weapon, a sense of humour. That's actually a very accurate description. This was all, not all humour based, but this was the most probably comical one they were trying to go for with this season. Some jokes worked, some jokes didn't. The characters I thought as a group were really decent, especially Owen. My boy Owen died way too early. He looked like a badass and looked like he should have lasted until the very end. But yeah, the whole idea of a cyborg bear with guns and blades coming out of its back, can't really go wrong. And lots of people died, lots of blood, lots of guts. I'd say it's again, really solid episode. I can't quite put it in decent because it was just really good. Let's go. Again, thinking about it, I'll actually put it lower than the Pulse Machine one. Bollocks. Where would I put you? I think there feels good, to be fair. I don't know. Yeah, there. Maybe. Again, I've only watched these last week, like literally 5 days ago, so opinions will probably change, but for now, we'll get there. The Swarm. 6 out of 10. Probably my weakest of the 3rd season, which, based on ratings, people disagree with. It looks like the weakest is episode 3 and 5. 2 human scientists study the secrets of an ancient alien entity, but soon learn the horrible price of survival in a hostile universe. Yeah, I could see that going bad as soon as they went in there, but yeah, I didn't care for the characters. Animation was okay. It was fine. It was really good animation. It's just not my type of animation that I fall in love with in the show. Like, I prefer episode 3's kind of animation to episode 6. But the best part of this episode was the woman being kind of like mind controlled by it. I thought was really cool. The visuals were really good as well. But yeah, didn't do too much for me, I'd say. So I'm going to put it in decent. Probably there. It was okay. Probably, like I say, the weakest of season 3 for me. It was fine. Probably just the characters didn't stand out that much. Mason's Rats. Yes. Welcome to the Rat Apocalypse, or Ratpocalypse. Farmer Mason knows he has a real pest problem when they start shooting back. Bloody hell. Yeah, that's pretty accurate. I really enjoyed the war scene that they had going on with the rats in this episode. I thought added some comical, even though it's sad seeing them all get brutalised. I kind of wish they murdered Mason at the end. I thought that would have been kind of cool, like they just all start like butchering him. But no, they made peace. Maybe that was like, I know that was, well, they went for it, so that was the point of the episode, was there, oh look, you can make peace. But it's not Death Robots, I was kind of expecting him to die. Maybe that's why they did the whole change. You expected him to die, but the rats are very forgiving. I'd say way too forgiving. He literally almost mass genocide your entire species in this territory, but I mean, do what you gotta do. I give it a 6 out of 10. I'd say it's slightly better than the Swarm. So I'm gonna put it at the top of decent. Yeah, the rats were cool. And a cat died, but that was just kind of sad. I do know this one. I know the name of this episode because inside Attuned Walls or something like that. Bollocks. Invaulted Halls Entombed. Way off. I kind of got 2 words correct. Modern Warfare meets Elder Gods. A special forces squad on a hostage rescue mission finds themselves trapped in a prison containing an age-old evil. Yeah, I really enjoyed this one. I think we had 3. We had Jai Courtney, we had the guy from True Blood, and Christian is a name, I don't know, but from The Walking Dead, and Selena. So they were. I mean, it was just kind of cool to recognise 3 faces while doing the reaction. Was kind of fun. But the deaths in this were brutal. The animation was good. The big monster, which apparently has a name. I didn't even know. It's like I've had so many comments kind of naming it something that I forgot the name of it, but I've not heard of that before. But people were saying it's actually like, is this that monster thing that actually has like history, which I had no clue about. I assumed it was an original design and all that stuff, but no, it's actually based on something apparently. And yeah, I thought it was a really cool, fun. I mean, kind of dark, but still a fun episode as well. So I just love the idea when they walked down, the steps were like huge, so you knew it was like a giant was living down there, and the spiders that were just shredding them, and then you had the bigger spiders that came rolling out and destroyed them, and then you had the 1v1 fight, and then her cutting her eyes out at the end. So yeah, I'm going to put it in amazing. Probably, I think Night of the Mini Dead was better, personally. I put this one there. Slap bang in the middle of amazing. Really, really good episode, actually. I was surprised by how much I enjoyed that one, because I feel like they've done a lot of like military going into some dark place before. And then we have Jabaro. What did I give? 9. 71%! Are you like insane? What are you giving it 71% for? Oh my god. Lower than episode 7 and 8. Again, I can't complain because I'm literally saying at the start, this is my personal preference. People want to give it a set. People would give this a 1 probably, but 9 out of 10 for me. I can't quite give it. There's something about it that's stopping me giving it a 10. I don't know why. Same director as The Witness, which should be said, which I did see in the reaction. So the animation has obviously won me over, but the characters was the design. There was no dialogue in this episode, but their design was just amazing for both the characters. Yeah, what's the description for this one? A death knight and a siren of myth become entwined in a deadly dance, a fatal attraction infused with blood, death, and treasure. So cool. It's going in the greatest Little Death Robots episodes, but it's just, where do I put it? Not as good as The Witness, not as good as Good Hunting. I can definitely say that. It's better than Bad Travelling. Animation, I prefer Jabaro to Bad Travelling. Characters, I prefer Jabaro. The setting, I would say Bad Travelling because of the ship, but then Jabaro had like the medieval kind of, and like out in the forest, which also really wins me over. My favourite type of levels in games is when you're like out just in a forest, like The Last of Us 2 for example, like that first, not the first mission, but this chapter 1, when you're just kind of out in the forest and it's all, I just love it. So I'll go Jabaro, I think, but I wouldn't be upset if, Bad Travelling was above it either, but I'm going to go Jabaro. I think maybe the story was better in Bad Travelling, but like I say, animation, character design, music, wow. By the way, so yeah, I'm going to put it number 3. Not quite a 10 out of 10 for me. I don't know, something about it is stopping me giving it that 10. I don't know what. Maybe I should just do it, but I feel like I'd be giving it a 10 just to give it a 10. and because it's like the director of The Witness, but I don't think that's like a reason as it should be a 10. So that's like saying I'll give Tenet a 10 out of 10 because it's Christopher Nolan. It's like, no, Tenet was shit. So yeah, I'm not going to give it a 10, but it's very close. It's like a 9.5. It is very, very close. So yeah, there we go, guys. That is my official ranking for every episode of Love, Death, Robots seasons 1, 2 and 3. We'll do this again, I think, when season 4 comes out, and I will rewatch every single one of these episodes, I think. Even Blind Spot, I'll even rewatch that, and then I'll do season 4 when that comes out. So I'll rewatch them, do season 4, and then we'll do another tier list. Or maybe I'll do that around when season 5, just so there's more episodes to actually add. But there's the ranking. So number 1, The Witness, Good Hunting, Jabaro, Bad Travelling, and Shapeshifters are my top 5 episodes. Pop Squad was very good, definitely the best of season 2. Secret War was good, and then Land of the Dead, and so on and so forth. I'd say the only truly really bad episode that did nothing for me was Blind Spot. Even the Met episodes, I think they had moments that were decent, and then we literally had decent there as well, and then really good. So yeah, I'm happy with that ranking. There's not really, looking over it, there's not really any change. I'd say the only ones that could swap around is Shapeshifters and Bad Travelling could flip-flop, and then Jabara and Bad Travelling could also flip-flop. So I mean, I guess that definitely means I'd put Bad Travelling above Shapeshifters, to be fair. So, because I don't see Shapeshifters as better than Jabaro. So yeah, I've used my brain there and puzzled it out, but Bad Travelling I'm happy with above Shapeshifters, but Jabaro and Bad Travelling could do that. 71%, why? The Witness, number 1, we're going to have the character here very soon, and yeah, Good Hunting, just amazing story. Yeah, there we go. I'm happy with it. Thanks for watching, guys. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Let me know your kind of top 5, or which episodes you'd consider to be in the top tier of every episode, or maybe the ones that you'd consider the really bad ones, or just do your full list if you want to do that. And we'll all share our full lists of Love, Death, Robots below if you want to, or just if you want, save time, just do your top 3 or something. But yeah, I love the show. I'm so happy it keeps going. I'm so happy more people are kind of picking up onto it, and hope for more seasons. Give us at least season 4 and 5, I think. At least 5 seasons, but this could be one of the shows that could go to 10 seasons, and I wouldn't complain either. So as long as they're still good quality. But yeah, thanks for watching. I will see you for season 4. We have Stranger Things tomorrow, so if you aren't subscribed, subscribe if you want to see Stranger Things reactions. And yeah, take care, guys. Thanks for watching. Peace.